Hey guys, it is In the Rough Crystals, and I am here for the April 2017 Conscious Crystal Oracle reading. I want to go ahead and get started. I'm using three different decks today. The main deck always being my Crystal Oracle deck. Every month, I'll use any supplemental decks, just kind of based intuitively on what I feel like we kind of like need at this time. If this is your first time watching the video, or if you've followed In the Rough Crystals on Facebook, like we do a weekly Crystal Conscious Oracle reading. Um, it's just based on the collective energies for the week. So this one's a little bit more like comprehensive than the weekly one, and it's focused on the energies for the month that are coming in. A little bit about this reading. It is a conscious focused reading, so it's designed to help us obviously rise higher and step into who we're meant to be and move forward on our soul mission and our purpose here. You can also use the crystals that come up as a way to recalibrate and to heal as well. And so we're going to jump into this and just let me connect here as I'm shuffling. All right. So let's see what wants to come up here. Let's see. All right. So I don't know if you can see these cards. I'll pull them down a little bit and I'll show them as well. All right. So the first card that comes up is Black Onyx. Okay. So Black Onyx is really this energy is about, it's an awakening energy almost, but it's more about being aware of um, how you're programming and how you have been, your thinking, your way of being, your way of functioning in the world, and the 3D has affected your life, created um, how it's created your reality. Um, I'm also getting that within this energy, we start to awaken to how our mind or our ego has kind of created this roadblock against us figuring out the core of who we are, because our mind or our ego wants to intellectualize everything, and our mind and our ego wants to kind of trick us into thinking things are something that they're not. Our mind and our ego is full of like limited beliefs and full of programming, whether it's programming that we installed within ourselves from our own self imposed limited beliefs, or external programming as well. It's just really about like an awareness, being aware of how our thinking, how our mind really works, um, and how it's creating roadblocks and how it's creating blockages within our consciousness and within our energetic field. So Black Onyx comes in so that it can open us up and it can expand us to seeing these areas within ourselves and these areas within these different levels and these different pockets within our consciousness so that we can heal them. So Black Onyx is really a protective stone, and it's going to protect you from these limited beliefs. It's going to protect you in a way that you're able to really like ground yourself and focus in. It kind of pulls you out of your mind, but it's going to help you focus on being able to see, or it's going to expose, because it's a really protective energy. It's going to expose like almost like this programming or things that we've told ourselves that aren't true, or things within our emotional bodies or pain within our pain bodies that have kept us blocked. It's going to expose these things. It's going to expose like this truth almost. And then we have Dioptase. So this is the central energy, and it's heart healing. And, you know, on a collective level, we're all going through heart healing at this time. There's a lot of our wounds are being triggered, whether it's again self-imposed wounds or wounds that come from limited thinking, or wounds that are kind of like societal wounds or ancestral wounds that are coming up, and we see that on a collective. It's been triggered by political things. It's being triggered in just things that are coming up just from race to race. All of these things are coming up, and they're coming to a head because these energies are trying to get us to feel, to get out of our minds and like really feel, so that we can expose. Like this is about, that's what revelation is. Like revelation is like kind of like exposing this energy, these energies that have kind of like kept us trapped and boxed in and tied down. And as I said that, like I literally like spirit showed me this image of like the devil card in tarot. That's exactly what it is. The things that have kept us chained, and the things that have kept us bound and unable to move and unable to like lift up and really like figure out who we are, and to free ourselves from this bondage. And a lot of times when we do that, when we're in our minds, when we're in our ego, when we're in this false programming, we become imprisoned in that. And we don't feel. We've been conditioned for eons not to feel, but to try to like think our way out of things, or to intellectualize our everything. And it's based on this false programming that's been downloaded into our minds. And it's like whatever is processed through our minds, whatever's plugged in, then our brain sends these electrical signals throughout the rest of our body, to our cells, our organs, our other energy centers. And that's what we kind of operate based off of. But if we have all these programmings that are false, then it's like the way that we live our lives, the way that we create things, the way that we deal with others is based upon false programming. So this is where we need to break out of this this energy that's kept us trapped. And this is where we start to see. This is where we start to see how we've created in our reality exactly what is around us, whether it's within our personal lives or whether it's on like a collective level. And, you know, for us to begin to break these chains, we have to feel. Like we have to feel our wounds. We have to feel how they affected us. We have to see where these false programs got installed in our personal consciousness. We have to see where these false programs got installed on our collective consciousness throughout times, through like stories, through history, because a lot of these stories that we've been told throughout time are distorted. They're distorted because they plug in this program into us that creates separation. Like it splinters us. Like if you would think that like when we come into our divinity, like when we're connected with like the wholeness of ourself, our inner child, we're this whole divine being. This is the closest and connected that we are to our divine essence and our creator. And when programs get installed into our mind, and we'll use, for example, and I have to use it because I saw it in another video and it just really came through strong, where like the story with Adam and Eve, about how, Eve is the cause for like the fall, which is false programming that has been downloaded into us on a collective level. So what it basically did is gave rise to the masculine perspective and like the downfall of the feminine perspectives, which is what we're going through now. There's been such an imbalance, and the feminine aspect has been downplayed because it's been downloaded into us to think that like, well, the feminine is bad. And we see that played out into our society where, women aren't getting paid the same amount for, the jobs as men. Like that still exists. Where, the masculine energy, and when I say masculine energy, I'm not just necessarily referring to men, but masculine energy is siphoning sexual energy from females to disempower her. And we see that played out in music videos and whatnot. But like when that happens, when that separation, because we all embody masculine and feminine energies, we just have to learn to embody that and balance that within ourselves, and that's what makes us a unified whole. But when this programming gets downloaded and instilled into us that creates this separation, then we start to splinter. We separate from our divinity. And then when another program gets plugged in, it triggers like fear within us, and there's collective fear, and then there's also this personal fear that's within your consciousness based upon just your life and your experiences. Then you start to splinter. So you splinter off in that direction, you splinter off in this direction, you splinter off in this direction, and then you become these fragments. It's like if you can imagine like a sheet of glass, and that's like your unified whole, that's your light, that's your divinity, this is who you really are. And then someone just takes the glass and throws it on the ground, it shatters. Like that's how we have operated for a long time. Like we're just these shattered fragments because all these programs are installed in us, and we agree to these. Like anytime we say, if something's presented to us, and a lot of times things get presented to us because it appears like it is the truth, and when we agree with it, it's just like things on television. That's what's called TV programming. When things are presented to us on the television, in the news, for example, and it appears like it is the truth. And a lot of times the programming gets installed because it's made to look like it is the truth, but it has all these kind of like pins, like all this false programming in it. It's kind of when you agree to it, it's like a contract. When you say, yes, I do agree with that, then that gets downloaded, like, and you're already fragmented, it gets downloaded in, and then the virus comes in and it takes over and it splinters you even more and fractures you even more, and it distorts what the truth is even more. So we've began to set up these barricades around ourselves, from finding the truth, and that prevents us from really connecting with who we are and really feeling. So it's like when we need to heal ourselves, heal our hearts, heal our wounds. Like this is the work that we have to do, because we have to go and we have to really, really heal our inner child. Like all these things that are triggering us emotionally, they're triggering us so that we can feel. Like we can't go in and we can't like intellectualize, like think our way out is what I mean when I say intellectualize. Like, okay, like, well, I know I have an issue with like addictions, so like let me say that like I'm not going to drink anymore and now I'm like healed. That's kind of like intellectualizing the situation. Like you have to, this is really about getting to like the root cause. Like, okay, you have this addiction, but what is the root cause of it? What is like the pain pocket underneath of that has created this manifestation? Like that's what we're getting to the root of, because that's what's going to really help us heal at a core level and get reconnected to the essence of who we are. And this is where this heart healing comes in, so then we have peach calcite. So, I'm just getting this energy of like this radiance from this. It's like freeing up this entanglement and this kind of like web that we've wove and created. Um, because we have created this. That's the thing that we need to recognize, that we have created, because every time we agree to these limited beliefs, every time we agree to these programmings and these contracts, like we're saying yes to them. We're saying yes to them. And so we create that because we accept that into our being, into our field, and to be downloaded into our consciousness. So, we do have to recognize that. We need to become aware of how this has created our reality so that we can get to the bottom of like what to really feeling. I'm getting like we really need to feel our pain, and our mind or our ego or this programming plays tricks on us because it's funny because I saw like a post about cognitive dissociation, which is really relevant because when we're presented with like the truth of like who we really are and how things have been manipulated, like our ego wants to fight that because it's so used to this programming that it doesn't want to entangle from that. Like, so what it does is it creates fear. It activates fear, and it activates it on a collective level, and it also activates it on a personal level, like whatever your fears are. And this is why they say you need to face your fears. Like whatever your fears are, whether it's personal or on a collective level, it triggers that because it's almost like your ego is trying to avoid feeling, because it knows by you facing that fear, by you facing, if you want to say, your demons, that you're going to be able to heal. But the programming and the mind control is created because so that we don't become whole, so we don't heal and fix all these like kind of broken pieces and become whole and connect back to our divinity. So that's why like heart healing is really, really, really important. And then again, we have this peach calcite, and I just get such a radiant energy from this because it's about harmonizing. It's about harmonizing. So what I'm getting from this is really about healing our divine masculine and our divine feminine. And the thing that we need to realize is that, and I was talking about this to one of my friends, where I feel like there's a lot coming forward about healing the divine masculine and divine feminine, but it's still getting distorted because it's being taught in a way that, okay, like if you're the feminine counterpart, then, heal this feminine counterpart, and then like this masculine counterpart's going to come in, and, sometimes it's like, like your twin flame or your soulmate or whatever. And then you're going to be complete, which is still a distortion because you're still missing that the divine feminine energy and the divine masculine energy are who you are. It's who you are. And you have to heal the distortions within your own masculine energy and within your own feminine energy. And when you heal both of those, because they work together when they're healed, when they're both balanced, and when they're both healed, then they can unify. And this is where the divine union happens. This is where the divine union happens, and you become whole, and you resonate. You resonate, like I'm getting like you resonate with your divinity. You're connected to the essence of who you truly are, your divine self, and what you're within your mission. And that's the harmony that needs to come in, like, so that you can connect to your light, to connect to the radiance of, who you truly are, So I'm going to pull tarot cards related to just this energy from the month and see what comes up. maybe any kind of like roadblocks or things that can kind of assist us in working through this energy of just becoming aware of, how we've created, you know, our reality, our collective consciousness, our personal consciousness. And so we can really kind of step into this healing and just really like bridge and connect to who we were really supposed to be. This is a year of change, like change and transformation, and we're all being triggered because we're all supposed to, just really, really transform here. Let me turn this way. That really helps. So let's see what comes up here. I'm like the worst shuffler. Like I see people like, I watch a lot of YouTube videos and they shuffle like so well. There's this one guy, I can't remember his name. I think he's like Asian. He does like astrology readings and stuff using like the cards, and he shuffles so quick, and you can see he goes through each like component. Like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I like shuffle slow because I will drop like the entire deck. So, all right. So, oops, that won't. Oh, we have a few that want to come up. They want to pop out. So let's see here. So we have the Seven of Swords come up and the Nine of Cups. So I'm just getting from like the Seven of Swords, again, like we're going into like our minds, like where it's like the things that we're allowing to come in and plug into like our mind, into our consciousness. This is what's wounding us. This is what's affecting us. So we need to, really become aware, we really need to become aware and be able to start recognizing, where these false programmings and these false beliefs are coming in. Like, and we can only do that when we get to the root of the problem. And we have to do that by feeling our pain. So, and that's what I'm getting, like, look at this, like, this person's grabbing these swords and they're like cutting themselves and they're bleeding. Like, and when you do that, you have to feel this pain. So this is really like, we're avoiding feeling our pain when it's like, what we need to get cut down. We need to bleed out. We need to bleed out that energy because we need to be able to release it. We need to be able to feel it. And it's like we need to release it from our minds. We need to like detach from this programming that's been downloaded into our minds, because our minds are computers. And it's like it's preventing us from being able to heal. And we heal by feeling. We heal by feeling. I'm just getting like this energy, like it's really important, like especially working through with the energies for this month, that we really take stock of what's coming up for us at this time, like what's triggering you. Like if someone says something to you and it makes you feel like, when someone says something, it like maybe it hurts you, and what you do is like you constrict, you're like and maybe you feel like pain or you feel hurt. Like, take note of that, write that down, and then maybe take a moment and take a like in meditation, or just sit silently and really connect with that feeling. If you felt hurt, feel into that hurt and ask yourself questions like, why do I feel this way? Where is this coming from? Because you have to start feeling that so you can get answers, so that you can heal, so that you can free yourself. And that's why all these triggers are coming up. So just really take note of like what's coming up for you this month. And then we have like the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups to me is really about being content with yourself, being content with like what you created, being content in like your relationships with like others. And that's generally what it means when it's upright. when it's in reverse. And I just would like to note, like, I do read reversals. Like, some people feel like it, um, when you read reversals, it kind of pulls in like a negative vibe. I don't view it as good or bad by reading reversals. I view it as an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for you to turn things around. You know what I mean? So I just feel like the Nine of Cups is like there's like an emptiness inside of you. There's so many areas of there's so many areas of your life where you feel this emptiness, and there's this void, and these there's these holes, and it's because it's like your energy is being siphoned from you. Like, your ability to love and your ability to feel is being siphoned from you. And so we have to be able to fill these spaces, because I feel like these bowls here, these cups, they represent all these different fragmented parts that are empty. They're being siphoned. Your energy is being vamped on and being sucked out of you. You know? So it's like you feel empty. There's a lack of contentment. Like, you're not content. So, in going in and doing this work and going in and like really looking at and ways you're being triggered, and what areas in your life pain is coming up, and really identifying the root cause, you're going to be able to start working on healing, which is essential energy again. You're going to be able to work on healing your heart, because we can only truly step into our essence and our resonance and our purpose if we're acting from a place of love, and we're connected to our feeling bodies, our heart, not our mind. We have to learn to navigate through our heart, because that is where we have access to source or God, or our divinity. This is where we're separated at. And this is why we need to heal, these masculine and these feminine aspects of ourselves, because that's what creates the separation, or, as people want to say, if you want to call it the fall. That's the fall, But we have to go through these things, and we have to discipline ourselves and heal ourselves and go through this process so that we can reunify these broken pieces and connect back to our divinity. It's like we try so much to search outside of ourselves for satisfaction, whether it's through feeling like we need a partner to make us whole, or money, or cars, or all these different like material, like 3D things. But like, even in the obtainment of those, we still feel empty. We still feel empty. We're not content, and it's because we're not connected to the essence of our divinity, which only comes through love for ourselves. Going through this process of healing, and doing this work, this is the highest form of self-love there is. Self-love is like on so many different levels. We love ourselves by honoring, because we are spirit having a human experience. We honor our spirit by taking care of our home, our physical vehicle, whether it's through sound nutrition and high vibrational foods that help us heal on a cellular level, moving our bodies, and then taking care of our spirit by really connecting back with our divinity and becoming a whole being, and love in our soul mission. And in that way, when we connect with feeling within our hearts, then it's like we can reprogram our minds. And it's like when we program our minds and we come into harmony, when we come into this harmony with the divine, and we're connected through our hearts, then what we plug in, what we start to plug into our mind, because now we have to reprogram all of this mess and all these viruses, like we connect, like we pull divine energy into our mind now. Like we pull the divine energy in, and that gets downloaded, and that's what moves through like our entire being. This is what harmonizes us. This is what creates our radiance. This is what turns our light on. And that's how we heal. And we have to do that have to do that on an individual level first. We have to do that on a personal level first, because it's like you have to be that change. You have to do that work yourself. And it's like when you come into harmony with yourself, you give others the permission to do so too, because it's kind of like leading by example. Leading by example, you know? And it's like when you wake up and you do this work, then it's like everyone that you do encounter, like you create a resonance. You create a resonance that activates them. You create a resonance that activates them to go through the same process, to awaken as well. And that's why it's so important for us to love ourselves first, to honor this process within ourselves first. So I'm going to pull, this is just from the Energy Oracle, and see what comes up. I got to really work on this shuffling thing. Someone should do like a card shuffling class. Sometimes I get jumpers. Sometimes I'm kind of like a person, I just like to go with the flow. There's a jumper. So I like to go with the flow. Like some people like, and I did do it in the beginning of the reading. Some people like to separate out the decks and put them back together. And like sometimes I'm just very, for the most part, I like to just let whatever comes out, comes out. But I don't always stick to that process. But so we're talking about healing, right? Talking about healing. And Archangel Raphael comes up. Look at that. What is that? Heart healing. That's heart healing right there. This is healing energy. Wow. This is a pathway. This is a pathway to our divinity and healing our heart. When we do this work, when we heal ourselves, because we have unlimited potential. We have the ability to heal ourselves. When we do this work and we recognize and become aware of what's affecting us and what's been poisoning us, we have the ability in that awareness to begin to heal ourselves. And this is how we heal ourselves from our sicknesses and our trauma and even diseases that manifest on a physical level. This is why a lot of we're being mind controlled. This is why, we have, these pharmaceutical companies, because it's all about, big business, like giving us these medicines that don't heal us. They don't heal us. They're like a Band-Aid that don't heal us. And it's like, where these programs are installed into us and these limited beliefs and so forth, because they don't want us to heal. They don't want us to heal. On a physical level, they don't want us to heal. Why? Imagine if everyone stepped into this and everyone realized they had the power to heal themselves. What does that mean for the pharmaceutical industry? Think about that. We are created as a spark from the divine. And when we embrace that and we understand that we're not separate, from that divinity, we're not separate from that spark, like we were created in the image, then we're able to embrace this and we're able to step into our hearts, connect with our divine self, to harmonize, to bring everything into balance and to heal ourselves. And when we heal ourselves, and we come into this healing, like it's like a detox, if you would say, like when we detox and we purge this out and we clean all that debris out, what happens is a lot of these toxins and these deep wounds and these embedded programs, they get stored in like our joints and our tissues and our organs. So when we begin to heal these things, like our body starts to detox because it's trying to flush all this old stuff out. So if you are, which a lot of people are experiencing, like they're really doing healing work, like I'm doing healing work myself. Like if you start to feel like out of sorts, like really listen and tune into your body. Really take time to allow yourself, like if your body is like go to sleep or go to bed earlier or take a nap, if you're in a situation where you can do that, just do that. If you um feel like on the weekend like you just want to sleep in a little longer, just really allow your body to, your body's trying to heal, your body's trying to like rejuvenate itself. So make sure that you're getting plenty of rest, that you're really honoring yourself by drinking a lot of water and eating a lot of like plant-based foods in particular, so that you can aid in like cellular healing. Because when we do this purging and we do this deep healing work, we're trying to heal at a cellular and a DNA level. Okay, and when we do that and we heal ourselves and we radiate, like we're open, we radiate, and we vibrate higher, we rise higher. And that's, the inner rough crystals, like our motto is rise higher. Like we rise higher, and when we vibrate at a it's like you vibrate at a faster rate. Then what happens is we become magnetic. We become magnetic, and we become charged and powerful people, powerful souls. And we're able to attract things to us faster. So this is where like we open ourselves up to abundance. Like we are creators. We turn on this our battery pack, and we're like, go. Now we create. We start to manifest things that we want quicker. It comes in faster, you know. So it's that's why it's really important to free up this energy. Like, we are divine beings. We have unlimited potential, and it's like all we have to do is to tap into that. And in order to do that, we have to heal. We have to heal. So if you are doing healing work at this time, which we all should be, um, feel free in meditation or prayer to really connect with Angel um, Raphael, because that energy surrounds you. The energy of the green ray surrounds you. Okay. So I just want to say again, we have in this reading we have black onyx, dioptase, and peach calcite. So you can work with these crystals. You can keep them with you. You can use them in meditation um, to create a resonance that comes in and helps bring up the things that need to heal, to bring things to your attention, to your awareness. So it's going to facilitate that. It's a tool to help you work within these energies. And then the peach calcite will help start to bring everything into balance, into better harmony if you work with it. Another thing I do want to note, just because I do have other crystals that like I kind of pull in the reading sometimes. I do have amethyst that's here. And amethyst is in this reading because I feel like everyone should be working with the violet flame right now. If you're not familiar with the violet flame, feel free to do research on it. But working with Saint Germain and the violet flame is really about transmuting energies. And when we talk about transmuting energies, we're talking about an alchemical process where we're changing one thing, we're changing that false programming, and we're recognizing and becoming aware of it. And now we're changing it into something that allows us to harmonize or to be transmuted into the kind of blossom into something else. So amethyst is really, really good with transmuting like addictions, whether that's codependency or drugs or sexual addictions, because those things are how we get siphoned, like how we get vamped on, how these programs get locked into us, and they create these revolving patterns. So working with amethyst will really help you transmute that. So here's the thing you need to know: when it's transmuted, it's also being brought into your awareness. So you can become aware of it. so that you can consciously make a choice to transmute and change that into something like in a new form. Um, so working with amethyst is really good. Um, you can keep it within your space. Like I'm such an advocate of keeping amethyst in my space as much as possible. Just so, and I'll come in here. Like I have amethyst here, and I have amethyst around me too. Like I sell crystals on Periscope, so I have like an amethyst geode back there. I have amethyst in my meditation space. So if you can keep a cluster like in your home, um, and then also if you have like something where you can, have like a little, like a little cluster. This is smaller, but something maybe you can kind of like keep in your pocket. It doesn't have to be a cluster. I mean, it can be a tumble. Um, but you can kind of keep this on you to carry with you. So, this is good to put like in your crystal toolkit. So if you get like a little pouch, something that can go in your pocket, or be carried like in your purse if you're a woman and so forth, like you can get something that's smaller so you can have with you at all times. This is also good for like protection as well. Like, so it's really, really good to keep amethyst. You can also, like, if you like jewelry like me, you could probably find like a bracelet so you can kind of wear it as jewelry, so it's like always with you as well. um and then I have rutile. So this is actually a sphere. You can get it like as a point as well. I've seen different types of rutile, like little like points, spheres, pyramids, so forth. And I don't know how clear this is, but rutile is like these little golden threads. They're like these little golden threads, and this is rutilated quartz, so it's in quartz, and quartz is programmable, and it's an amplifier of like whatever it's with. So what the rutilated quartz is doing, like the threads bring in information from higher consciousness and from the divine. So this is like about bringing in the information that you need to be aware of about your divinity, and how I'm really feeling like, it's bringing in this information about like who you are, and how the limited thinking and the limited beliefs and the false program is affecting you. It's like kind of like waking you up. This is like the rutile is like an awakening energy, and it's going to bring in, working with it's going to bring in a lot of downloads, a lot of information to help you really become aware of like what's going on. And then I have black tourmaline, which should be in everyone's toolkit. This is really about protecting yourself, because when you try to unplug from these programs, like remember, like other entities and other forces do not want us to discover our light. They want us to stay fractured, and they want us to stay splintered, um, and not ever figure out who we are. And they'll try to plug back in the programmers by accessing our fear, which is why we need to recognize our fear, heal our pain, and protect ourselves so there's no access points. So to be able to protect ourselves, like black tourmaline is a classic. You can get them in smaller pieces. This is kind of like a little bit of a bigger log. But you can get them in smaller pieces, so you can put like in a little pouch in your crystal toolkit that you keep with you. You can keep them in your space. I actually have a grid in my home, in all four corners of my home and above my door. I have little black tourmaline pieces taped, so I'm also protecting my home space from kind of being like vamped and invaded as well. Um, and then I know this is getting a little long-winded. I think we're like 43 minutes in, but and then I also have, if you can see, and I know it's kind of dark in here, but it's a skull obviously, but this is Kambaba jasper. I think I'm saying it, Kambaba jasper. And so Kambaba jasper is really, really awesome because it helps eliminate toxins. So, we were talking a lot about like, going through this purging process and like deprogramming. We're releasing all of these toxins and purging all this stuff from our pain bodies and our mental bodies and our emotional bodies. Like we're healing, so we're releasing this stuff. So it's our body's being flooded with all this these toxins. So working with Kababa Jasper really helps to eliminate these toxins as well, and it really helps to stimulate cellular healing. And when we heal at a cellular level, it helps to enhance the nervous system. So this is where it's helping to heal our minds, to heal our hearts, so that we're able to um, plug into a new program. We're able to plug into a new program, which increases our brain functioning. Another thing that's really, really good to do, if you can access Kambaba Jasper tumbles, and working through this process, you can actually take the tumble and put it at the base of your brain stem, because our brain stem is the oldest parts of our brain. So they hold the deepest ingrained blockages, because remember, our brains send out signals to the rest of our body. So if we're sending out, toxic stuff to our bodies, then we're responding, accordingly. And then that creates a resonance that creates the reality around us. So working with Kababa Jasper is really good, because it really helps to really release like the deep, deep blockages, which is exactly what we need to do to heal. So you can get tumbles, you can get palm stones. Like, I have like a skull, for example. This is actually for sale. Um, in one of my shops, but we have like a skull, which is really appropriate. Like, I also have like a sphere, but I've seen like palm stones and tumbles and so forth. So it's really, really good to work with at this time. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in and bearing with me for this long video. It's like about 46 minutes in. So this is for April 2017. Our website's going to be coming soon. It's going to be intheroughcrystals.com. Also, make sure you follow us on Instagram at intheroughcrystals. And then we're also on Periscope. We do live sales. We sell all types of crystals and tools to help you rise higher. So follow us on Periscope. We're at In the Rough Crystals. We do live sales on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to be posting a lot more videos. My partner, Sarah, she's really awesome. She does like the month ahead tarot for YouTube, and then she does the week ahead tarot for our Facebook page. So you should see a video being posted by her soon. She's really, really awesome. So thank you for being with me. Thank you for joining, and sending everyone so much love and light, and let's just be healed, whole, divine individuals, guys. Love you guys a lot. And I guess we're gonna say bye-bye for now. Blessings, guys.